Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.
Hello guys, welcome back. As always, we are here for the Alpha Pro series between our players Cham and DnS. This is of course a best of 9 series, and we got all the players and casters in the lobby already. We're starting it off right off the bat. Glad you guys can join us. Hopefully there will be even more viewers coming in. These players, of course, are very well known throughout the StarCraft 2 scene, and they're about to battle it out. And the first map will be on Acropolis LE. Alright, here we go. Spawning. At the bottom right, we have our blue Zerg player. He is from the team of Chivo. He is Cham. And spawning at the top left of the corner of the map, we have the red Protoss. From the team of Cascade, this is our Protoss friend, DnS. Alrighty, looks like we have a PVZ here, and looks like we're starting off the series without a cheese. All these players are gonna go ahead. Both these players are gonna go ahead and just play out, feel their opponent out in the first game. Nothing too crazy. Although this is a best of 9, so don't be surprised if middle of the series we do see some quick cheeses. Both these players, I would say, are pretty versatile. They've been in the scene for a long time and have played in plenty of tournaments and show matches. But first off, I love this Overlord from Cham at the natural. Gonna go ahead and spot for any cannon rushes. Unfortunately for him, there is actually no cannon rush this game. But you could see a lot of Protosses would go ahead and wall off around here, this area, and get this cannons up behind the mineral line. But nope, looks like DnS is gonna go ahead and just plot down his Nexus, and then just throw down his cybernetic core. He is gonna go for actually a late scout, which is interesting because you usually see a lot of Protosses send their probes like right after the first pylon or even after the first gateway, but it looks like DnS will go ahead and scout after his cybernetic core. So it could have been a little bit dicey if Cham actually did go for a 12-13 pool, but luckily for him, Cham had just went for a standard opening here, and looks like he's going to be wanting to take down his third hatch here. Now DnS kind of can presume that he went for the third hatchery, but I think he just want to go back in and get a confirmation. See, I'm not actually going to go ahead and just return home with that mineral patch in hand. And let's see what we have here. We have a robotics facility as well as the Twilight Council from DnS. So we will see presumably a warp prism being made. We'll see if a Dark Shrine gets added, or if it's going to be a Glaive of Depths timing, or even a Charge Lot timing. Oh, actually it's going to be a Dark Shrine. There we go. There we have it. And I don't think there's any okay, there's one Overlord at the natural. I'm wondering if it is going to get scouted. It looks like he's going to just park there for the meantime. We'll take notice if the Overlord does go in and scout the Dark Shrine. But in the meantime, Spore Crawler's already out for Cham. He's just gonna go ahead and just play it safe. So at least the natural should be safe. We'll see if he throws down any additional Spore Crawlers at the natural or the third base. But the War Prism is about to be out. Dark Shrine is about to be done. And currently there's no vision from Cham. He does not actually have a lot of scouting information. He does see the two gases at the natural, so that should at least give him some hint that maybe there is some tech behind this, but he doesn't know exactly what kind of tech. Although he does have a nice link at the watchtower, which will be able to help him spot this War Prism and start making units. Over 20 links in the production tab. But the real question is, does he have detection? Because currently there is actually no lair. Actually, the lair was being made at the third base, and there is no Spore Crawler as well. But these lings are going to get on top of this War Prism, which will be delaying the Dark Templar Warpins. So this might actually be really good for him, because the lair is about to be done. That should allow him to morph in the Overseer. But instead, it looks like DnS is going to go ahead and just actually morph them into two Archons instead of the DT. There was a short timing window where DnS could have actually taken down the third base along with the lair. That would have been really, really bad, because boy, if you lose your third, that's bad enough, but if you lose your lair as well, that would have been just almost game ending at that point. But looks like DnS with some nice Archon micro, but does not want to lose that War Prism. That War Prism is going to be so important. That's going to allow him to harass as well as deny creep. He does have a he does have a observer arrow, I believe. Does he? Yep. And it's making his way across the map, which will allow him to pick off those creep tumors to slow down the creep spread there. In the meantime, looks like an infestation pit is going to be thrown down, as well as an evolution chamber for Cham. So he is going to go ahead. I'm wondering if it's this fast infestation pit is going to be for some swarm hosts. We know that the swarm host Nidus play has been really common. It's been like one of the popular metagames these days. But in the meantime, he needs to defend against these two Archons. He does take down the Queen, which is nice, but does not want to lose those Archons. Nice lift into the Warp Prison there by DnS. And DnS, he's just macroing. He's got his third base established. He's got his charge on the way. He's got his upgrades on the way. And the same thing is going on for Cham. In fact, as I say, that Swarm Host metagame has been common. It looks like that's exactly what Cham is going for. He is making those Swarm Hosts. The Nice is about to be done. But DNS has not. Oh, actually he did scout that. I think he sent a hallucination Phoenix to scout that. So you should be aware of that. And it looks like he's sending out his units to spot that Nidus Worm. But the Nidus Worm has popped off. Swarm hosts are unloaded. Luckily for DNS, there isn't much at the outside of the base, so all these locusts will only pick off a pylon and maybe a gateway building. I don't think it will actually pick off anything more than that. Another swarm host going on the 12 o'clock position there, but at the same time it looks like Cham is moving his units to the south, and DNS at looks like as his third he's going to place down a lot of pylons, as he's actually supply block here. Unfortunate to be supply block at this time, as he's about to get attacked. But looks like here we go in a lot of Zerglings, not a lot of roaches. This force of DNS should be able to defend this third quite easily, but the question is, can he defend against the swarm host? Looks like the locust did pick off the spotter zealot, so there is nothing to pick it off. But Cham is gonna unload these swarm hosts at the dirt along with his roaches, and all these Zerglings actually get melted by these Archons. Only a bunch of roaches left over, which should be good for DNS because he has a lot of Archons, but I don't think he has a lot of Immortals actually. Gotta pick up the Immortal production, but there's still no answer for these swarm hosts, these Nidus. DNS is just kind of sitting at his dirt base waiting to be attacked, but it's kind of difficult for him to move out because he only has 73 army supply against the 132 of Cham. DNS does do a nice job cleaning up that south or the north the Nidus Worm, but the real threat is here at the south, at the dirt base, on top of the dirt base. It looks like Cham is gonna section off one of his sides to just focus fire on the Nexus, and he does pick it off, and all he needs to do is just retreat. I mean, wait, let's see, how much swarm hosts does he still have? He still has 13, so he saved all his swarm hosts. So a really nice pick up there by Cham, and now he's in the driver's seat. Although this is a nice counterattack by DNS, it's actually not a lot in the main base here, and that is going to force Cham to retreat and pull his units back into the main base. Alright, looks like DNS trying to establish back his dirt base. It's pretty tough to start making or remaking your dirt base at this stage of the game. It's like 10 minute 30 seconds into the game here, and Cham is just basically using his swarm host to deflect this army here, using his main army at the north side. Oh, we have a nice flank there. That's a nice play by Cham. Nice split there on the corrosive bios from DNS, but does not want to walk down that little choke area. And we'll see if DNS decides to move out, because at this point he's just kind of sitting there waiting for the swarm host to whittle him down. And this is not the place you want to be as a Protoss, being on the defensive end. You want to move out into the map, force the Cham to use those swarm hosts as defensive locusts instead of offensive locusts. But DNS, he has a good amount of Archons, which will help against the locusts. And he's starting to ramp up the immortal counts. So I mean, his army is decently strong. But Cham, he's like on 4 bases with a lot of money banked up. He still has his those swarm hosts to harass the bases here. And here we go. DNS deciding to go in. He's going to go ahead and, ooh, nice dodge on the corrosive bios. But is it enough? There's a lot of roaches and a lot of ravagers. And DNS with some nice micro does push us back. And nice hold there by DnS, but I mean, look at the supply. He's he's down almost 80 supply, and I mean the workers are relatively even, but the army supply is just heavily in favor of Cham there. I mean, as long as Cham holds this position, he should be fine. Another locust flood going down to defend, but there is not a lot of army here for DnS. Ooh, these little army force by DnS. Gotta be careful. Oh my god, the roaches on the creep. Gets on top of all the archons, a bunch of those of the immortals, and now he's just down to like 2 immortal with 0 archons. And this is looking like a very bleak position here for DnS. I do not see him taking a 4th base anytime soon. In fact, Cham is deciding not to let him try to get 4th base. He's going to go and keep up the pressure here. Another Nidus. And I'm going to predict a flank here, which will be really nice. The locusts on the north side, as well as the roaches and ravagers on the south side, flanking the army. And oh, getting on top of that 3rd base, and the 3rd base goes down once again. Cham is just looking so powerful in this game 1. And will DnS? Oh no, DnS is not gonna rebuild that 3rd base. In fact, he's just gonna GG. He knows that he's in a dire situation and just gonna go ahead and concede the first game. And it looks like Cham will be our game 1 winner. But it's gonna be up to DnS to choose his next map. So let's see what map he chooses, and hopefully he can have a better game this second round. Alrighty, guys. There is a Matcherino page for this show match. If you see in the Africa TV chat area, there should be a built-in with the Matcherino link, as well as the code that you can put in to donate to the prize pool for free. All you need to do is actually, let's go ahead and take a look at the Matcherino page. All right, so here at the Matcherino page, all you need to do is click on the contribute. Well, sign in first. There's a bunch of ways to sign in, whether it's through your Discord or your Twitch account. But either way, just sign in and then contribute to enter the code, and that shall donate 50 cents for free. And then if you want to donate additional funds, you can also do some sponsor quests down here. There's some 24-hour fitness sponsor quests, YouTube quests, and you can donate additional funds to the prize pool. I'm sure the players would appreciate that. Alright, looks like DnS is deciding to go with Triton LE. Triton LE. Alright. Game has loaded. Alrighty, here, let's go ahead and introduce the players from the team of Cascade. It is our red Protoss at the top left corner of the map. He is DnS. And from the team of Chivo, he is our blue Zerg player from the bottom right. It is Cham. looks like we have a really fast probe sent out by DnS to block that hatchery there. That is going to force Cham to make the hatchery at the 6 o'clock position. And on this map specifically, there is a lot of dirt bases that you can choose from. There is the one next to the main base. There's the one at the 6 o'clock, and then there's the one that's like kind of forward positioning. Now I like how Cham is going to go for that 6 o'clock hatchery instead, because if you go for the one that's next to the main base, there is always that threat of a warp prism, and the warp prism flying back and forth to your main into your third. That's going to be really annoying to deal with. So having that hatchery at the bottom side, the horizontal side, is going to allow him to defend a lot easier. In the meantime, looks like DnS is going to go for a standard opening once again. We'll see what tech he goes for, whether he goes for that same Twilight into Robo, into DT Shrine. Although I would say if DnS did warp in those initial DTs and took in that, I think he could have taken that down that third as well as the lair. There was no spore crawlers there. Lair wasn't finished, so I mean, if he goes for the same DT build, I'm wondering if that's gonna be that would work out better for him. But Cham did a nice job getting those links on top of that warp prism, delaying the warp-ins, allowing him to finish that layer and get that the defense up. But this time around, it looks like a Stargate from DnS. Now there is no Overlord to spot this. In fact, the one Overlord that's nearest to the Protoss base is in the natural instead. So once again, Cham is going to be in the dark here, and he's going to have to kind of guess. Dean is going to go ahead and send his first adept here. Going to get some scouting information. Will he finish that clone? Oh, nope, does not. DnS just want to go ahead and take a look at the kind of drone count, see if there's any aggression coming. But I did think he saw the bunch of drones at the, I guess the natural here, or I guess the second base. So he should feel safe at the moment here. First production or first unit off the Stargate will be a Phoenix, so not going to be an Orko. Which is a shame, because there wasn't any. Oh no, actually there wasn't Spore Caller at the 6 o'clock base. Oh, actually there is going to be a follow-up Orko, but D-Ling did spot that, or should have spotted that. But with these Spore Callers and the Queen, I don't expect this Orko to do too much damage. Ooh, nice Stasis Ward. Will catch two Queens actually, and some drones. So not too shabby for a scouted Orko. All right, looks like what do we have here for DnS? He's actually not taking a third at this time. But okay, he has 3 additional gates, so that's going to be 6 gates in total. Oh, actually, I think this is going to be a Sentry Immortal type of push. This is kind of like the old school build. Kind of like the parting old school train build, where you just make a lot of sentries, make some immortals, and then push out with a warp prism. Ooh, actually nice save there on the Orko. That Orko was down to, let's see, 13 health points. And these Phoenixes, this Phoenix is actually clearing the way of the Overlord, so that Cham doesn't actually scout the push. But in fact, it looks like Cham was on the aggressive side of the of the map because he's actually pushing in with a Link Baneling, and that actually fails pretty hard. I mean, there's the wall is just filled with some great health point structures, so it's kind of hard to break through with these Banelings. He needs like a bunch of them, and they're still forceful. And Cham knows it. He kind of went all in on that with the dirty workers left. So nice force field by DnS. And just that was kind of a unfortunate build order loss, I think, for Cham, because DnS was like, he was stuck on 2 bases. I mean, you usually want to do that push with Protoss going for a 3rd base, so because he has less units and more vulnerable. But DnS managed to pull out that win. We'll tie up the series 1-1, and now it is Cham's map of choice for this next game here. But before we go into this next game, let's go ahead and give a shout out to one of our sponsors, 24 Hour Fitness. They've been around for over 30 years, helping people to achieve their fitness goals. They're kind of almost everywhere, as they have over 430 locations nationwide, all fully equipped with weights, cardio machines, pools, and studio classes, and more. So you want to go ahead and give them a try. You can go to their website and get a free 3-day pass to try them out. And if you like their services, you can go ahead and go for their membership plan. So yeah, check them out at 24hourfitness.com. All right, let's go ahead and go over to NA. We're gonna do 2 games on EU and then 2 games on NA, it seems. Although I'm not sure why. Oh wait, actually, okay, I think Cham is from Mexico, so that's why we're going to the NA server. Alright, we should have this lobby set up pretty soon, and then we'll get into the game right away. Alright, looks like the next map will be Ephemeron. By the way, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the BlizzCon games. It's kind of crazy to think that it was only just a week ago that BlizzCon wrapped up. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed that there was no new feature coming out or new stuff coming out for StarCraft 2. They had new things for Overwatch 2, and then they had some for Diablo 4, and then they also had some for Warcraft as well. So kind of StarCraft 2 was kind of left to the side. But at the same time, like, I think it's okay, because I feel like, you know, next year it's going to be the 10th anniversary of StarCraft 2, because StarCraft 2 came out in 2010. So I feel like StarCraft 2 will get some love next year. Whether if it's a StarCraft 3 announcement or whether it's some other big announcement. Not sure what Blizzard has up their sleeves, or what they've been working on, but I expect a StarCraft 2 announcement next year. But anyhow, let's go ahead and introduce our players. Actually, let's go ahead. Starting off the bottom right, we have our Blue Zerg player from Chivo. It is Cham. And spawning at the top left, we have the red Protoss from Team Cascade. It is DnS. Alright, so we see this same early probe move out to block the hatchery of Cham. This is going to force Cham once again to make his second base at the third base area. And yep, looks like a pretty steady opening once again by both players. Looks like both players are respecting one another, and we'll see what DnS go for. The first game he went for the DTs, the DT drops, and then he actually transformed into the 2 Archons instead. Second game he went for a Stargate opening. Cham instead went for a Baneling bust, but didn't work out in his favor. We'll see if DnS goes for that Dark Shrine again, or if he's gonna go for a Stargate, or maybe he goes for something completely different as well. One thing that I have noticed by Cham though is that he's been only sending only one Overlord to DnS's base, which kind of limits his scouting ability, because ideally you want a Overlord at the natural as well as the near the main base, so you can kind of scout both areas at the same time, get a read of what your opponent is doing, because that's primarily how Zergs get their scouting information with their Overlords initially. Some even go for Overlord speed, really quick Overlord speed, but Cham has decided not to go for any quick Overlord speed, because that's an investment there. That's some gas investment. You gotta delay your Ling speed. So, but anyhow, looks like we have a nice adept scout by DnS here into the main base. Also did scout the natural, so he knows that he's not up against some quick roach push, 2-base roach. But yeah, we do look like we have a Stargo opening once again by DnS. And we'll see if he goes for the same build once again. I mean, he didn't really get to execute his build last game because of the Baneling bust. So, I mean, potentially he wants to go ahead and do that same build and see if he can make it work against Cham this game. And so far, no awareness of the Oracles coming, but I mean, with the initial Phoenixes, that's gonna force Cham to make those Spore Callers, and I don't see this excuse me, I don't see this Oracle doing much damage. Oh well. Oh, looks like that Spore Caller actually might. Oh no, does not get that Oracle. So nice save there by DnS. And yep, we had the Robo, we had the Gateway. It looks pretty much similar to last game here. So I am anticipating a Mortal Sentry push follow-up. There is a Link this time at the third, so he will scout there. The third won't be made. And that's going to be a good indication for Cham to start making those roaches once that Roach Warren has completed. Alright, so distracting at the natural, as well as sending 2 adepts to the third. This is going to be a nice pick off there. So far, 5-6 drones going down. And we see a lack of units to defend against this harass. And in fact, 7 drones. Maybe we got 8. Ooh, didn't get that Spore Caller in time. And we have 9 total. Maybe double digits. 10 drones in total going down for Cham. That's some really nice start for DnS. And usually when a Zerg loses that many drones, he's gonna go ahead and try to power up the drones to come back, and that is gonna allow DnS to make work of that big push if he decides to go for it. Actually, no, he's going to go for a dirt base. I wonder if this is the fake dirt base, though, because there's a lot of sentries. There is a War Prism coming out, and ooh, this is going to be a scary timing for Cham. He doesn't have any Zerglings to scout this. In fact, all the Zerglings are kind of outside the vision of the army moving out. Oh boy, this is going to be a pretty scary push. Look at that, 43 army supply to 13, and Cham has been pumping a lot of drones. He's been actually transitioning into Hydralisk and Spire at the same time, going for the 4th, and just no units for Cham to defend, and he's just going to GG immediately. He knows that that's pretty much it there. So well done there by DnS. First getting the initial drone harass, getting 10, and catching Cham off guard as he was transitioning into a 4th base. Kind of got greedy after he lost his 10 drones. But I mean, you can't blame him. You know, if you're gonna lose 10 drones early in the game like that, you gotta take some sort of risk. But I think he just took too big of a risk going for a Hydralisk Den and Spire at the same time while getting a 4th right after losing 10 drones. So it's going to be Cham's map choice of World of Sleepers. Going to be our next map here. And we'll see if Cham has something up his sleeve. All right, countdown has begun, and we're about to head into this next game, which will be our 4th game of the series. So far, just basic standard play from both players. I wonder if Cham or DnS will change it up, but with the series still so tight at 2-1, I'm not too sure if these players are gonna go too out of the ordinary. But I guess we'll see. Let's go ahead and just update the score. DnS with 2 and Cham with 1. All right, here at the bottom left, we have our blue Zerg player from Team Chivo looking to tie up the series. It is Cham. And spawning at the top right corner of that, we have our red Protoss player from Team Cascade looking to extend his lead 3-1. Can he do it? It is DnS. Alrighty there. Looks like this time around there was no early probe move out by DnS to block that second hatchery. So tried it 2 games in a row. Decides to pull it back and change it up this time. Gonna allow Cham to get that natural base, no problem. Some nice little probe harass here. Will deflect some drones off the minerals. That can be a bit annoying for Zerg. You gotta macro your drones to make sure they don't kind of move on to a different mineral patch. I mean, it's not the end of the world or anything, but it's a nice little. I mean, if you got the APM for it, you know, it's some nice kind of indirect harass there with blocking the mineral patches. And oh, we do actually see a dirt base at the forward location. This is going to be the base with the rich Vespene gas. So, I mean, you can see the little purple color there compared to, let's say, no purple color, just green smoke, smoke coming from the regular one. This is going to be the purple smoke, which is pretty cool. And looks like we have the same build coming out for DNS, the Stargate opening at least. And again, the first depth harass, or I guess more of a scouting adept as well, because you want to just make sure you want to scout your opponent, as well as make sure you force a few links. This is gonna actually force 4 links from Cham. 4 links, of course, is the kind of the optimal number of links to deflect an adept. Ooh, nice save there on the larva at the last second. And once again, Cham will have pretty much a 0 indication of what DNS is going for. I mean, he does see the third and fourth gas. So, but at the first game where DNS went for Dark Shrine, he went for the same third and fourth gas. So, but he will finally see the Phoenix here. One spoiler, going down in the natural. I'm surprised he didn't actually put it in the dirt base, because I think the Orko will go to the dirt base like the quickest. But I think with 3 queens there, he should be able to deflect any Orko harass that's incoming. And we do have 1 Orko being escorted by that 1 Phoenix as well. Alright, actually we do have a little bit of a change up, it seems, because we did see in the previous 2 games, we saw DNS go for a Stargate and then into a Robo, but without a Twilight Cancel. This time around he's actually making the Robo Twilight Cancel into the Templar Archive. So it looks like a Archon harass follow up. Then he's gonna probably go for a third base, as we do see the third base being plopped down right now. War Prism is out for DNS, which will allow him to this is some nice timing, by the way. The Templar Archive just finished right now, which will allow him to warp in those Templar as he is flying in with that War Prism. What is there any army out though for Cham? It seems like he doesn't have much. He has 9 links, 5 queens. Is that enough for against 2 Archons though? I'm not sure. I mean, if he focuses the queens on the War Prism, that should allow him to deflect this. But there's going to be that Phoenix that's going to lift 1 queen. And all the Zerglings have been obliterated, and roaches and queens are left over. I think this should be enough, just barely. Oh my god, this Archon, don't leave him behind. Don't leave this Archon behind. Oh, it's gonna be close. Oh, and he just saves that Archon barely. I mean, you don't want to be that Archon did not want to be a Kerrigan situation where she was just left on the planet to die, right? I mean, the Protoss, you know, they're brothers. They don't just like leave their brothers behind. So well done there by DNS to save the War Prism as well as the 2 Archons. And with these 2 Archons still alive, that's gonna allow him to be able to pick off these Creep Tumor with this Observer, as maybe possibly some Overlords as well. There's a lot of Overlords flying around. And meanwhile, while this harass has been going down, it looks like we have a Nidus Worm and Swarm Host coming out for Cham. So he's been slowly teching up here while getting his 4th base as well. So he's going to use the Swarm Host and Nidus Worm to keep the Protoss back at his base while macroing up with that 4th hatchery. And we do see the Nidus Worm get spotted by the Phoenix. Will he move out? Looks like he's going to move out, but it does not move out in time. And that forces DNS to retreat. He does have some nice stasis wards, and that should allow him to stasis some of these locusts, which is pretty nice. Alright, the stasis ward allowing him to clean it up, no problem. But additional knights coming out. And one thing about this nice positioning is that there is a mineral patch blocking, so he can't even go there. He can't even send a zealot there to snipe it. And now DnS is in the back foot. He's trying to morph in a bunch of Archons, which will help against the Locusts. But there's actually one Archon right behind the shield battery. He's stuck. He's too fat to get out. So, oh, he's gonna. DnS is gonna actually take down the shield battery just to free him up. He should have went to a 24-hour fitness, get that lost weight to be able to fit through the shield battery and the pylons and stuff. So maybe he can get a membership after this, but we do have the Lurker then coming out for Cham. So this is not his end all for Cham. He's actually transitioning into Lurkers, which is going to put additional pressure on DnS, as if he's not already under a lot of pressure with this Swarm Host play here. Locust is coming down. Archons, there's still a bunch of Archons left, but there's so much roaches, and all the buffer for the Archons and the Mortals have been gone. All the Zealots been taken out on the front line. Ooh, nice War Prism backdrop, taking out the Nidus, but he's got to be careful. There's Hydra's out in the field. His War Prism is low life. I mean, he has the shields and stuff, but a lot of his life already been taken down earlier by those Queens. And luckily for DnS, he's buying some time. He took out the Nidus Worm at the north side as well. But he's kind of being passive. He's staying back at his third base. I think he should be moving out into the middle of the map, at least to force the Swarm Host to shoot out their Locust in the middle, and then he could just retreat back instead of just sitting here at the third base waiting for the to get free damage on him. And here we go. Oh my god, this is a scary push. A lot of Swarm Hosts as well as Lurkers. There's actually no detection for DnS. Oh no, where's the Observer? I don't think... Oh, his Observer's been taken out. Oh, luckily for him, he does have a Oracle to revelate the Lurkers. But oh my god, there's actually a lot of Immortals that will allow him to push this army back. And still a lot of Archons left over. Let's see the upgrades here. Currently +2 weapons on the Protoss against the +1/1 of the Zerg. Alright, will Cham send his Locusts? Yep, he will send his Locusts into the main base. I'm not sure if he should have, because there is a big push coming in by DnS at this third base. Will he have enough without those Swarm Hosts? And oh my god, those Lurkers are doing a lot of damage, but there's just too much Immortals and Archons, and this will push Cham back. But he does have a lot of bases, so he can afford to lose this. And plus, he actually, I think he retreated his drones, while 17 probes going down for DnS at the main base to those Swarm Hosts. And DnS has to make this push work. If he does not make this push work, he's going to be behind so much with 51 workers against the 63 of Cham. Plus, I guess Cham does have stuck on 4 bases, while DnS getting his 4th base. So DnS might be able to cash back up in the economy. But boy, is this a scary army. There's so much Archons, so much Immortals still left over. But can he push in? There's so much Lurkers, nicely spread out indeed. But nice revelation, getting pretty much all the Lurkers except one. And here we go. DnS is diving on top of the Lurkers, making some additional warpins, and he's just gonna push through. Just the brute force of this Protoss army is gonna just destroy the Zerg, and this base is definitely gonna go down. 24 drones being killed as well, and it looks like DnS will be ahead in the worker count. Cham trying to make use of his Swarm Host to buy time, but I don't think there's much left over at this. Yep, looks like he will GG out, and DnS was a really strong push, getting that third win, extending his lead at 3-1. Awesome play there by DnS. So many times we see the Protoss die to that. They just have so much trouble defending against Swarm hosts, and you know, they're just kind of like stuck in their bases, their dirt base, and they just kind of slowly die to the Swarm hosts and the roaches. But DnS making it happen, making it work, was able to defend and push back and just completely roll over the Zerg player here. And now we're heading back into EU here, which would allow DnS to get a little bit of a ping on his side, which is not good news for Cham. But Cham will be able to choose his next map, so hopefully that will help for him to start crawling back into the series. It is 3-1, so plenty of chances still left for Cham to come back, as this is a best of 9. So first player to 5 wins will win the series and win the first place prize of 70% of the prize pool. Okay, guys, there is a Matcherino page. If you could go ahead and head over there and just enter the coupon code to donate 50 cents for free to the prize pool, and all the links and codes should be listed in the Africa TV chat area at the top. There's a little built-in with all the information. Yeah, just go ahead and make sure to use those coupon codes. The players, I'm sure, will definitely appreciate it. Looks like Thunderbird will be our next map, but before we head into this next game, let's go ahead and give a shout out to one of our sponsors, GameStop. GameStop has always given power to the players, and now they're bringing it specifically to esports players. They actually opened up a new state-of-the-art GameStop Performance Center in order to help with player development, coaching, and training. They're dedicated to creating original content in order to engage the esports community so that gamers like you can unite with other gamers, share all your passions for the esport, while also celebrating, their love for, video games in general. So yeah, they've been showing some love to the esports community, so let's go ahead and show them some love, whether it's by liking their tweets, following them in their Twitter, or heading on over to GameStop website, maybe even purchasing something from GameStop that you want. Maybe you have a game that you want to buy. But yeah, let's go ahead and actually get into this game here. All right, so current score is 3-1. Here, spawning at the top left corner of the map, it is the red Zerg player. He is down 1-3, looking to start crawling back and hopefully top the series. It is Cham. And spawning at the bottom right, we have our blue Protoss player from the team of Cascade, looking to get one step closer to closing out the series. It is DnS. Alrighty, so I gotta say, I am loving DnS's diversity in terms of his build. Remember, the first game he went for the DT Shrine. Second game he went to the Stargate play, into the kind of Sentry Immortal push. Third game he actually went for the similar build. And then this last fourth game, he actually changed it up, went for a Stargate, but he actually transitioned into a Archon drop. So I gotta love, I just gotta say, I gotta love his, I love his kind of diversity in his build. Now Cham, on the other hand, he's also been pretty diverse as well. I mean, he's pretty solid build. I think with the exception of maybe the second game, where he went for Baneling Bust. He's been pretty. I mean, he's been relying on the Swarm Host Nidus play, but I think this last game, in the fourth game, he actually switched it up by actually transitioning into Lurkers rather quickly. So he wasn't all in on the Swarm Host Roach play, the Swarm Host Nidus and Roach play, but he was actually gonna transition into Lurkers, which I like, but just wasn't enough to break DnS. And here we go. DnS is going for the same opening with the Stargate. I mean, it has worked out pretty well for him these past few games, so why not do it again? I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Alright, let's see if this Adept can get some scouting information here. Will bypass the natural, head straight into the main here. Will he let the Shade finish? Oh, he actually does. He's going to go ahead and... Oh, nice save there. Nice drone save. Turning that into a Spore Caller. Nice reaction time, but doesn't save one of his drones, unfortunately. But pretty decent hold. Not losing too much. Only losing one total drone. But actually, we do see another change up by DnS here. Instead of going for the Phoenix. Oh no, actually he does go for the Phoenix. My bad. I did not see that. He actually going for the same opening with the Phoenix into the Oracles. Now, will he add in a Twilight Council behind this Robo for the Archon drop, or will he go for that Sentry Mortal push? Okay, he does. He does add that Twilight Council. So, I mean, it makes sense because this map actually has the middle patches, which makes a ground force timing attack kind of difficult unless you mine out those mineral patches. So you make so that your army can actually travel quicker. Oh, actually, we don't see any Spore Callers, but nice save there by Cham, morphing those drones quickly, saving a bunch of them, and I think only one drone killed during that Oracle harass. So that could have been scary because there was actually not a lot of queens there and no Spore Callers at the third base. Meanwhile, we do see DnS going to go ahead and take his third base while making that same Warp Prism and Archon drop. And looks like DnS will use this Phoenix just to scout, see what's up, see if there's any Nidus play once again. Doesn't get too much of a read here as Cham made his Roach Warren in the main base. Alright, Archons are out. At the same time, Cham will take that fourth base. Will DnS go for the fourth base or just head into the natural to get some drone kills? I think he's going to go ahead and pick off this Overlord and maybe head into the natural, but actually, oh, nice lift there. There's actually not a lot of units for Cham. 8 roaches in the production, still not out yet. Does allow DnS to take out one additional queen, maybe another one. Oh, just barely. Nice pullback by Cham, saving that one queen there. He might want to transfuse it as soon as he has enough energy. But DnS doing some nice pressure. But ooh, we do see the Hydralisk into the Spire. Now remember, Cham actually went for that same build, but that was actually when he lost 10 drones. This time, this game, he did not lose 10 drones. This will allow him to actually produce those either those Mulisks or those Hydralisks, and allow him to not die so quickly into the game. We'll see what he goes for. The Spire is about to be done. And 9 mutas on the way for Cham. DnS still has no clue. I don't think he scouted this. Where's the spire here? Where's the spire? Let's see. Oh, under this. Oh, he actually did. I think he sent in the hallucinated Phoenix, maybe. Oh no, actually, he doesn't have any oracles. I think he just sent. Yeah, he just flew in his Phoenix, his regular Phoenix to scout that. But he does see it. How will he prepare for it? He's already making cannons in his mineralized, which is a nice play. Now Cham isn't going all in with the Mutalisk, so DnS doesn't have to over prepare for it. He doesn't have to make like a ton of cannons. He just makes enough just to pull this back. But if Cham goes for additional Mutalisk, it could be actually pretty scary. So DnS might actually want to go for a big timing push with a lot of Archons. I mean, he does have High Templars and Storm just finished. Oh, actually looks like DnS will transition into a Fleet Beacon in order to deal with this Mutalisk threat. But in the meantime, Cham is just going ham on the economy. He's throwing down additional bases while distracting DnS with this Mutalisk play. But Phoenix and gets on top of those Archons. A little bit of a miss, Michael, there by Cham. Does lose a bit of Phoenix, or not Phoenix, a bunch of Mutalisks. And oh my god, these roaches does not even have speed. Roach speed isn't done. I think he might have forgotten about it. That allowed him, DnS, to get on top of these roaches with a storm and dwindle them down. Oh boy. Cham making a few mistakes here and there. I mean, it's not game ending, but it can add up. And it looks like Cham is going to go ahead and try to put on some pressure. But after losing a bunch of roaches, and with this Immortal, Archon, and High Templar with Storm army, will have been... Oh, actually, he does go for the Lurker. So let's see how this does. There's a nice little arc here. Oh, DnS does not want to move up to... Oh, nice little concave. And oh, wow. Storm goes on top of the front line. Only Lurkers are kind of exposed to the Immortals. And this is going to push back Cham. DnS looking pretty strong. He's got the +1 on his army compared to the +0. Actually has no upgrades on the Lurkers and the Hydralisks and the Roaches. And oh boy, it's looking pretty scary for Cham. I mean, DnS looking like he wants to actually put some pressure on the Zerg. What does Cham does? He actually building some spine crawlers just to help buy some time while he actually does a Roach counterattack. And if DnS actually recalls back, that's going to be pretty good for Cham, because he actually got his hatchery rather quickly, his 5th hatchery rather quickly compared to DnS getting his 4th base. And here we go, Roaches moving into the natural, no, actually splitting his Roaches to the 4th and 3rd base, as well as the 2nd base. But this is the initial cannons that are helping actually defend against these Roaches. And this mothership is out, which will allow him to cloak these these buildings. And actually no, he's gonna just be okay with these charge block and Phoenixes. And looks like with this mothership out, is this the time to attack the base of Cham? Right now Cham is trying to transition into the Greater Spire, into potentially Broodlords. But those Broodlords are way later than what he wants, because DnS is right now looking to attack. Now, Cham does have a decent amount of Lurkers here. But, oh boy, here we go. Nice pre-spread there by DnS. Will the Storm goes down? The Storm does go down on top of the Lurkers. Corruptor's focus firing on the mothership. Will he take it down? No, he does not even take down the mothership, and all those Storms and those Immortals pretty much cleans up the rest of the Lurkers. And GG, Cham goes down, and DnS goes up 4-1, one game away from cleaning up the series. I gotta say, I've been pretty impressed by DnS's defense of these lurkers, but I think Cham making a few mistakes here and there, allowing DnS to build up those Immortals and Archons, and then this game, of course, the High Templar with the Storm. So yeah, looks like Cham is on the back foot. He's down 1-4. He needs to go all kill at this point in order to win the series. Because if he allows one more game to DnS, then the series is over. But this time around, we're actually heading back into America, the NA region. So that should at least somewhat help Cham in terms of ping wise. All right, heading back into NA, and looks like they're already in game here. But before we get into this next game, let's talk about 24-hour fitness. They have a bunch of locations nationwide. In fact, they have over 430 locations, so you can pretty much find one nearby. If you want to find your local one, you can head on over to 24hourfitness.com. Check out where's the nearest 24-hour fitness gym. They provide awesome personal trainers that can help customize a plan that fits your life and deliver the results that you're looking for. And by the way, guys, it's getting close to winter, so you know swimming outside is not really a good option. So I mean, if you want to swim in the swimming pool, 24-hour fitness has a bunch of indoor swimming pools that you can go to. Oh, actually, did they start the game already? All right, so let's head into this next game here. For a second, I thought they actually started without me. That would have been unfortunate. All right, Disco Bloodbath will be the next map, and I love Disco Bloodbath. I mean, there's a lot of colors as well as a lot of dancing animals or creatures, and I'll definitely make sure to zoom in on that, because I mean, who doesn't love a little bit of dancing in our lives, right? All right, countdown has begun, and we're about to head into our 6th game here. Already here at the top right corner of the map, he's the red Protoss player from Team Cascade. He's up 4-1, one game away from winning this show match series. He is DnS. Here at the left side corner of the map, at the 10 o'clock position, we have our blue Zerg player from Team Chivo SC. Can he pull off the comeback win? We shall see. He is Cham. I think it's actually pretty nice for Cham to be in the same team as Su. I probably can get some nice Zerg advice from him from time to time. Although I'm not sure if they speak a lot to each other. I'm actually not sure how Su's English is, so I don't think he's been. I mean, from past experience, I don't think he's said a lot of or talked a lot of English on stage. So maybe Cham and Su doesn't really talk as much. But anyhow, still nice to have Su on your team. And again, some nice pro harass there by DnS on those mineral patches. Now, I do gotta advise you guys that you should only do this if you have enough APM to keep up, because I mean, as nice as it is to block the mineral patches from being mined, you don't wanna mess up your builds or mess up your timings just because you're too focused on the pro micro. You know, if you don't have a lot of APM to spare, you know, just focus on your side of the map. That would be my advice to you, all the Protoss players out there, or even the Terran players who does this. Try to block the mineral patch. We don't really see a lot of Zerg players because they don't usually send out their initial drones to block the mineral patches from being mined, but from, you know, on the other side. But yeah, it's usually the Terran player and the Protoss that send their initial worker to scout. But we do see the same opening by DnS. I mean, it has pretty much worked out throughout this whole entire series, so can't blame him from not changing up this opening, the Stargate opening. But yeah, he does scout the dirt base, so know that there's pretty much a standard opening by Cham. But ooh, nice block there by the Adepts. That Adept kind of body blocked the drone from turning into a spore caller, so nice pick up there. Good initial start for DnS, picking off a drone as well as this Overlord. And let's see. Oh, actually, we see a double Stargate. Looks like DnS is gonna pull a rabbit out of his hat. Throughout this whole series, he's been sticking with one Stargate and then transitioning into a Robo and maybe a Robo into Twilight for the Archon drop. But this time around, he's actually going for the double Stargate Phoenix play. And again, Cham does not scout this. He does not have a lot of Overlords to scout the base of DnS. And plus that Phoenix killed any Overlords near his base. So this is going to catch Cham by surprise. And this is going to get scary really, really soon. Cham's making a kind of a security roach warren in case there is a Archon drop. But in fact, there is a double Stargate Phoenix production. We'll see how Cham deals with this on the fly, because this is gonna be out of the blue for him, and it's gonna be pretty scary. I mean, we know the Mass Phoenix play can snowball really, really quickly. And I really like this because, I mean, DnS, he's up 4-1, so he can actually, you know, go for a build that he hasn't been trying out throughout this whole entire series. Plus, I'm sure he's actually made this, done this build a lot of times on ladder and tournaments and stuff. But he's getting his dirt base, and the Phoenixes are moving out. So far, what do we have here? We have only one Spore Caller. All the Queens are actually, fortunately, on the dirt base, so it will allow him to defend a lot better, at least, compared to a base that is actually that has no Queens like the main base and the natural. And immediately Cham's doing a bunch of Spore Callers, 6 Spore Callers on the way, but these Overlords are dead as they're just pretty much floating around the area. And oh, actually, we don't have any spore colors at the natural there for a second. And that's going to have 7 drones being picked off for DNS. And this is not good news because, you know, Cham, he's already spent a bunch of drones on those spore callers. And this is going to force Cham to move out, trying to move those phoenixes back out into DNS's side of the map. But boy, these roaches are going to be easily picked off if they're scouted. Luckily, DNS doesn't catch those roaches. This is going to buy Cham some time to get his anti-air defenses up. But in the meantime, DNS is just macroing. He's producing those probes. He's getting his third base saturated. He's actually transitioning into a robo gateway charge composition. So he's not going all in on this airplay. He's not transitioning to carriers, mass carriers, or going for a quick mothership. He's actually throwing down 7 gateways, and I love this because Cham, he's trying to crawl back into the economy. He's making a lot of drones, 8 drones in the production tab, and he's just neglecting his army. I mean, he's got 39 army supply. He's supply blocked, so he's gonna have to spend additional resources on those overlords. He's trying to transition into infestors and as well as get some hydras out. But this timing attack, I think, is going to hit pretty soon. I mean, his Gates Warriors are about to be done. His Templar Archives are about to be done. Will he just wait for a storm though? I mean, he is getting his 4th base, so maybe Cham actually has some time to kind of mass up some army to defend against this. But there is a +1 air weapons on DNS. Cham has yet to actually finish researching an upgrade. He's actually getting his +1 melee as well as a +1 armor. Oh, actually, he does reveal his war prism for a sec. Cham not actually moving back into his main base. Funny enough, so I don't think he actually saw that war prism. There's actually no spine crawlers to defend the main base as well. So if Cham decides to move out and DNS goes in for a counterattack with this war prism drop, this could be spell disaster for Cham. Actually, he's just gonna go in. There's actually no units at the main base. All his army is at the 3rd and 4th area. Oh no, this hatchery, this lair might actually get taken down. Actually, no, DNS is gonna just harass with the 4 zealots. Not gonna warp in any additional units. So nice little harass there by DNS while he's getting his 4th base, mind you. He's getting the High Templars. I think his Storm has finished researching, so he has that Storm tech ready to at a moment's notice. And ooh, nice little fungal growth there on these phoenixes. So this is gonna allow him to pick off these phoenixes. Oh, only 1 phoenix doesn't have enough. Didn't have enough energy on those infestors. Only 2 infestors there. But boy, DNS on 4 bases compared to the 4 bases of Cham, looking to be in a great position. And actually, will he go in for the harass? I think he's just gonna go ahead and do a double prong. Actually, I mean, it looks like he's ready to move out. Maybe drop into the main base and pull the Zerg while attacking this 5th base. And that's exactly. But there is a nice sprawl caller defense there on the main base, which will allow him to defend against any war prism harass. But DNS, I don't think he cares because, I mean, he's gonna circumvent. Oh, barely just missed that war prism. So, but the main force here for DNS is at this top side of the base. Oh my God! Storm going down on all those banelings, on all these Hydralisks, and there's only just a few queens left over. Oh my God! What a nice blanket of Storm, just cleaning up everything of the Zerg, and GG DNS will take this Alpha Pro Series 5-1. So just a dominant performance by DNS here. It's just well done. The diversity of builds, the execution, the harass, just pretty much had Cham's number today. So unfortunate for Cham to go down, but it's not too bad. I mean, he still gets 30% of the prize pool, so not too shabby. But congrats to DnS for a nice 5-1 win here. He will go 70% with the prize pool. Again, guys, there is a match renew page. The link and coupon codes are at the Africa TV chat area on the top in the little bulletin. Just head on over to Match Reno and you can contribute. Put in the coupon code and enter the coupon code to donate 50 cents for free to the prize pool. And then if you like, you can go ahead and go down and you can see the sponsor quest to donate and contribute additional funds by completing those sponsor quests. The players, I'm sure, will definitely appreciate that. And by the way, just one last shout out to our sponsor, GameStop. Guys, if you have a old game or old gaming console, or maybe an old smartphone, cell phone that you want to get rid of for some cash or some GameStop credit, you can head over to the GameStop website, or maybe go in store and take advantage of their trading program, where you can trade in your old stuff for some cash or store credit in order to purchase some new games or new gaming consoles or new controllers or new smartphones if you want to upgrade. So that's a nice trade-in program that you could take advantage of. This is a really nice feature that GameStop has provided to our players, so make sure to take advantage of it. So thank you to GameStop for their awesome services and also their commitment to support the esports community. All right, that does it pretty much, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that series. Even if it wasn't as close as I would have wanted, I think there were some pretty nice games that you could definitely learn from, especially the different build orders that DnS pulled out. So some really nice build orders that you can learn and apply to your ladder games. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this Alpha Pro series. We will definitely have a bunch more Alpha Pro series in the future, so make sure to keep watch of our Africa TV channel and announcements. You can actually keep up with our future events in our Twitter page. It is Alpha XXC2 on our Twitter. Also, you can check out our YouTube page. It's the same handle, Alpha XSC2. All right. Hope you guys have an awesome day. And we'll see you guys next time. This is your friendly neighborhood puppy dog signing out.
Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.